If you will, turning your Bibles to James chapter number 3. James chapter number 3. I was actually going to try to preach another message, and this is where we ended up at. But I'm going to talk about the other message for a minute. This morning, what you see, you don't see a whole lot anymore. That's people getting saved. Hey, it's still possible. God's not changed and God's not went out of business. But the problem is the church is not doing a whole lot. And I had thought about preaching tonight on 4 reasons why the church must go on. When you go over to John chapter 3, verse number 16, it tells us, it says, "For God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten Son. Whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life." See, the first part of that verse, we find out there's a cause. The cause was, for God so loved the world. God so loved the world. There's a cause for the church. And it's the love of God. And the love of God for sinners. The Bible talks about us being sinners and how God reconciled himself to us. It talks about how a righteous man would die for one peradventure. A few may die for a good man. He said, but God commendeth his love toward us, and while we were what? Yet sinners. Christ died for us. There's a cause. And that cause is the love of God for every man, woman, boy, and girl. That the church must go on. What would happen today if this church shut down and one more light of the gospel was gone out of Crestline? Was gone. And the light gets dimmer and dimmer. You say, well, there's other churches around here. What are they preaching for salvation? Some of them are preaching works, some good works. Some of them is teaching about not just by faith, but you got to have something plus faith. You got to do certain things or you're not saved. Like speak in tongues or prophesy, different things like that. There's all kind of perverted gospels out there in every city, every county in the country.